The hit go
WuBro.
live. There we go. Now we're live.
Okay, are we live? We're live.
Freeze frame.
We're live.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello. What's up, bro?
Hey, it's the What's Up Bro podcast. We talk movies, sports, TV shows, pop culture, and it's funny, motherfuckers. With nary signs. I'm like, what? How can this... They have Photoshop. Photoshop exists when this artist rendition was done. How the fuck is this not cooler looking than a sketch that looks like it was done by a hillbilly off the side of the road? What the fuck are we talking? Why is this a thing?
So you're telling me there's a chance?
With Missy
Just let me finish my thought before you fucking interrupt me. Wrong room to ask questions.
Welcome to the party, pal!
and Mike Markadal.
I'm just glad I like vanilla, boring sex like this. I'm glad that the sex I enjoy won't get me killed.
That's how winning is done.
Hey, I'm Dave Chappelle, and this is What's Up, Bro.
Hey!
What happened?
It is. I got to get into costume. Hello, everybody.
Wow.
Welcome to the day before Noche Buena, before Christmas.
Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve. What's Up, Bro podcast. I am at Mike Markadal with Missy, the writer over here.
Hi.
And Neri is on assignment right now.
Wait,
but
where? Wait, I think he's knocking on the door. I think he's here.
Well, he's our guest today because we are.
Oh, we didn't get a chance to play Where's Neri?
No, we
Damn it.
didn't. We didn't get a chance to do that. Hold on. Hey, there he is.
What up?
What's up, bro?
Topical. Wait, put the glasses back on.
Oh,
Let Neri take a whole.
you got to get the full ensemble.
Look at that. Look
You
at
gotta
that.
get the full ensemble.
Mm.
I'm Elton John's Christmas. The ghost of Elton John passed. The ghost of Christmas Elton John.
Mm.
But that
We
also
didn't-
hurts my nose, so the joke is going to
That's
live.
fine. I
Yeah,
just
okay.
wanted a visual. We didn't get a chance to play. Where's Neri?
Neri, where were you?
Where were you, buddy?
I was unboxing a massive box that Will Smith sent me.
Is that real?
Yeah.
What
Well,
was in the box? What's in the box?
What's in your box?
That book
Oh, wait.
behind me.
Huh?
That book behind me.
Do you see that book over his shoulder by the Funkos?
But that was the rest of it would be what? What was the rest?
That's
That,
it.
that was it.
Just
That
the
was
book? Okay.
yeah.
That was a book.
It's kind of a letdown.
It was a 24-pound box, by the way.
He's
what
not
the fuck
lying.
was in there?
The
book.
book.
What?
The book.
The book weighs 24 pounds?
Nope.
I love where this is
Nope.
going. These are excellent questions. All very logical, by the way.
Have you ever seen a movie where they spend the entire movie? It's a MacGuffin, right? Like they spend the
Yeah,
entire movie going through like the world's most advanced safe,
Right.
and then
Italian job or whatever.
right. Imagine, you know what? This is Richie Rich, right? The entire movie was like the Mount Rushmore family, whatever, and then when he unlocks it, it's like family heirlooms. It's just like
It's
photo albums.
the friends we made along the way. The treasure was the friends we made along the way.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then I remember John Lithgow in that movie. I don't remember much about that movie, but I remember John Lithgow in that movie. Like, that's all that's in here. And he goes, "What do you think was going to be in here?" And he goes, "Stocks, gold bricks, money." And he was like, "Yeah, I have that in banks. Well, where else?"
Yeah. Why the fuck would I have that here?
Yeah, that's exactly what this was. It was like, "What's in the box? What's in the box?" And then the book.
You're like, and
Signed? Was it
Yep.
signed there?
Mm-mm.
and we're good.
Mm-mm.
No, it wasn't signed either. Wow. Okay.
All right.
But there
So-
was a gift certificate for a audio version of the book.
For the he had to say that it did. He did send a subscription for Audible. Yes, he did do that.
Oh, so
No, not subscription. Just his book.
Coupon.
just his book?
That book.
Nice.
Just that. I can't. Just that book.
Fair
So
enough.
that's where he was.
knows
That's
what he
why he
wants.
was 3 minutes late.
It is a magical box too. Like it is a stunning piece of carpentry, and like
A wooden box.
it's a wooden box that has a key that unlocks, and each panel unfolds, and each panel has a message from Will, that make up life, such as love, such as I forget the other ones already. But it's all these panels, and in the last one, you take the V from the love and you put it in, and it's a separate key that unlocks the fourth panel, and that's like perseverance or some. I don't remember which one.
Are you fucking kidding me? He gave you a national treasure box?
Yeah, I'm telling you. When I'm telling you that it was like, how do we unlock this box? Like it's a beautiful piece of artistry, that box, and inside the box, in the middle, is his book, and then it lights up. It's a light up. It's like it's the whole thing. Yeah, I have the video of me unboxing it, and I haven't posted it because I'm trying to figure out a way to make that exciting.
I mean, you're unlocking the secrets of the treasure of the Templars, so whatever the fuck it was in there.
I think it's treasure? It was like yeah, it was yeah.
So that's where he was. Where's Steph? We can play that game because she's not, unfortunately, not going to come here.
That's not gonna happen.
What?
I said we can play that game because she's not coming.
She's not coming. Yeah, no. Steph.
She hasn't told me anything officially.
Oh, she did in the chat.
She did.
Yeah, she's not coming.
Yeah. Yeah, because if I mean, I remember before you even asked, I was like, that's not gonna happen. No, she landed yesterday or the day before in Miami. She hasn't seen her family in 2-3 years. There's no way.
4 years.
Yeah.
She needs to sort out her fucking priorities, bro. What is she not gonna do? The commitments that she has to the show?
Well, I told her, I was like, she's like, the family's intense, and I was like, they haven't seen you in 4 years. They have a lot of Hispanic crazy to just like get out of their system.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. She just fucking forgot what time it was. It was like, oh shit, I got it. I mean, she didn't even come pick up the microphone. She was supposed to come pick up the microphone. She never fucking did.
Well,
I never even. I mean, you know, I love her, and there's nobody on this panel that loves her more than I do. But she's fucking. She's, you know, not the most. Look, she just posted a Facebook story. She just posted a Facebook story of her eating fucking breakfast food at some restaurant.
That was that she was running late. Listen, nobody is saying that she's not.
And I'm not judging her. I just don't like my family's intense. Like, that's you. It's you. It's not.
Well, let's have that conversation when she's here to contextualize why she wasn't able to come here. Speaking of context,
unlock the fifth panel of that box, and then out pops Steph, and then she's the secret fifth compartment. It was friendship.
The first three was power, and then light. What was the Triforce? What was I forgot.
Wisdom, the power, the Triforce of wisdom, the Triforce of power.
Yeah.
Speaking of context, before we went on air, I watched the full video of the lady breastfeeding the cat.
We can show that, right?
I don't know. Can we?
I mean, it's on Instagram. It's on social media.
It's on social media.
Okay.
I don't see why we couldn't.
Well, I hadn't seen the whole thing because I saw 30 seconds of it, and I was like,
I didn't see the whole thing. I only saw 30
seconds. You
seconds.
haven't? Okay,
wait,
great.
No,
are you kidding?
I only saw what I showed. I only saw what I showed you guys.
Hold on.
What I said in the chat is the only thing that I saw.
Yeah, but I hadn't seen that whole video, is what I'm saying.
I only saw 30 seconds.
Okay, great, perfect.
At the end. Right? Is that the end? I hope that was the end. Jesus Christ.
Wait. Wait for it.
Okay.
Hold on. I have to. Okay.
To the audio listener, we are watching a video that's apparently gone viral.
Okay.
Is this on Jaleel White's Instagram, by the way? Can we just talk about the fact that it's on Jaleel White's Urkel?
Go ahead, take the blanket off.
Can you hear it? It's a lady on a plane.
I can hear it.
By the way.
Yes, you gave him permission. He will take
I never gave him permission.
You said go ahead and take the blanket off. So
It's a cat! It is a cat! I told you! I told you!
What?
An emergency service animal.
Not a cat.
Emergency service links.
It's a lynx. It's a lynx.
Is that real?
Is that a real cat?
Is that a real cat? Can we just? Is it a real cat? Is it alive? What is it? It's an emergency.
Where did you stop watching it?
Emotional support animal.
Oh. Wait.
When he said those eyes.
Yeah, that's allowed. Okay. Oh, wow.
The eyes are googly eyes.
Those are googly eyes.
They are googly eyes. It's a taxidermied cat
with googly eyes. I hadn't seen the whole video, and I live reacted
did you
to
not
that.
see that
to
part?
watch her react. No.
I hadn't seen it.
What do you mean? I mean that up until then, I showed you the video, right? That was it. Up
You
until
sent
then,
the video in
I
the
sent
chat.
a video and it cut off right when it goes. Those eyes look, and then it cuts off there.
There was so many wait for it moments in that video that she was like, clearly we've reached all of the reveals.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I get it, the lady, whatever. And I didn't watch, and then I watched the whole thing, and there are googly eyes on that cat. And Mike was
I got
like,
to watch it. It was very funny.
Is there more than just what you just showed?
No, I don't.
Not in what you sent. I thought there is a TikTok of it somewhere. It is the whole thing.
I thought you said when you said I didn't see the whole thing, I thought you meant that there was more than that.
No, because I was basing it off of Missy's. She stopped watching it before the googly eye reveal.
Oh no!
I hadn't seen the googly eyes. That's brand new information.
That'll teach you not to watch things all the way through.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I just thought sometimes I'm jaded by the internet. Does that happen to you guys?
I'm not even on TikTok. I just whatever Urkel says to watch, I fucking that's the rule, right? And it's like Urkel's telling you to watch.
Urkel posted it. What do you want me to tell you?
Neri, what's on our title today? I don't know where to go to see it.
Well, a lot of things are on our title, but you know what's not on our title? The fact that it's Christmas in 2 days.
Yeah,
I somehow forgot that part. I was like, "Oh, this happened, and then that happened," and I was like, and then I'm literally in the living room, like unboxing a huge box, and I was like, "Wait, did I mention Christmas?"
Nope.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I was telling Mike that my Christmas plans were canceled, and I am devastated. So,
oh no.
Because a family member won't confirm or deny if she's positive, so we're not rolling the dice. So we're staying home, which is great. I'm getting
Is this a anti-vaxxer family member, or just like a family
arrogant member? Like a family member? No, they're fully vaccinated, not boosted because their 6 months haven't come up yet, but take precautions, all of that stuff, but won't confirm or deny if they were positive. So we made an executive.
She refuses to get tested. Like what?
Well, actually, I found out today. She got tested on Monday. The test came back inconclusive.
Oh, so she has it.
So she won't, but she won't get retested but she won't get retested to confirm if she is or she isn't. And I just, the Transformer variant is very contagious. If only we knew a healthcare worker that could clue us in.
The Omicron variant?
Yeah, the Autobot.
What is it about Omarion that he just decided? It's like there's an icebox where her mind's supposed to be.
Yeah. Optimus Prime variant is the it's just super contagious. Is like literally everyone in New York just got it. Like their lines were like hours long to get tested. I mean, like it's like, oh, we're go get tested if you were exposed. I'm like, I work in a hospital. I'm there every day. I specify how I would have been. More specifically, how would you want me to be exposed so that I could go get tested? But the idea is that,
do you think you have the true variant?
I had the OG. That's a little hipster of me. I was like, I got COVID before we even knew what COVID was. You know what I mean? Before it hit it big, when it was still underground.
I think Neri had it before it went mainstream too. Remember January?
No, I got mine in 2021, so it wasn't.
No, I
Maybe it was
mean,
mainstream.
no, I mean last year before everything came to a halt when he was
Yes,
super
yes.
fucking sick in like January, February, and I
I
called
was
him
super
one
sick the
time
last week before January. Yeah.
and he was so sick that he FaceTimed me and I was like, "Go lay the fuck down because you're about to pass out." And hit
And then
that.
I go, I am laying down. I would literally was laying down, and
Yeah.
I was in so much pain. I went to the hospital and they gave me a flu test, and it wasn't the flu. And I had a lot of I didn't lose my sense of taste or smell. I wish I would have, so I could stop eating at that point.
Oh my god.
But it was January of last week of January of 2020. And I remember because I had Super Bowl tickets, and I was like, it's better that I get sick this week than next week.
You
Like
did say that.
that was
You
my thing. I was
100%
like,
said that.
I'll get over it this week. And luckily to God, thank God I did. But it was I remember crying day 6, crying in my bed, saying, I'm sorry, God. Like I said, I'm sorry, God. Like I don't know what I apologize for, but I was in so much pain.
Tell me
that
what
was
I
like,
did.
Yeah,
I'm sorry for
I'm not
whatever
even,
that was.
I don't even want you to tell me what I did. Just know that I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Whatever it was, I apologize sincerely. It was a
I'm
sincere apology
sorry for
too.
the mistakes I will make in the future.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a lot of pain. It was a lot of pain.
You know, the thing is now, since it's cold up here, like it was just really cold.
For a pip?
Huh?
It's cold out there for a pip.
It's yeah. But the pimp fur coat is very warm. No, is that now we're all super paranoid. So like every time that we get like, you know, if Chiquita gets a sniffle or whatever, we're both like, yeah, like, okay. And since everybody is sick, like, or exposed and getting tested, and I know a bunch of people that have it. My friend Alex got it. I know a bunch of people that like were exposed. They went to a concert.
They got
and
they got the OMG variant.
They got the OMG. Yeah.
Mhm.
They got the yeah. But the idea of the exposure, like, because all of a sudden your mind starts playing tricks on you, where you're just like, do I have a fever? What do I feel? What do I have to? Oh no, I got to take a shit. Okay, and then you're like, you're like, what is this? What's happening? And then you're like, oh, I haven't drank water in 4 hours. So yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Like everything is like what's like suspicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Don't be suspicious. Don't
be suspicious.
Well, hopefully somebody at Walter Reed said that there is a vaccine that's like a one-off for all COVIDs that they're working on, like all the variants.
The military has some whatever.
Yeah.
You want to know what my theory is? I
Hit
think
me.
they're doing that for all the fucking Republicans who worship the military, because now it's coming from the military and not from the CDC or the liberal right. It's like, nah, the military. I want, you know, like when you buy, if you look at anything, if you Google the word tactical, you will start getting ads where it's like, this motherfucking thing is the best thing. We'll kick your ass. We're gonna fight the Al Qaeda.
I'll
with this
be
shit.
the judge of that.
and it's literally like the tactical flashlight, you know, or whatever. It's always something like that. Like it's like, what, your dick can't get hard? It will with this tactical condom. You know, like all like it's all about military grade.
Condom has pockets where you just
It has a bandolier of bullets for her pleasure. You know, like what
bullets, get it?
And I think that they're like, look, we got to get these idiots to do something. Like, I mean, we get it. Your support. We all hate the Democrats. Yeah, sure.
It's like, everybody take your vitamins. No, they're Flintstone vitamins. All right, I'll take them.
All right.
Yeah, but here's the problem. It's like that logic would track because it's logical. However, like everybody in the Republican Party, all the heads of states of Republican parties have all taken it, including the former president, including.
Did you hear did you see the video when they booed him?
Yeah.
No.
Good. So good. Because he's like,
a while ago,
I got my booster. Just recently.
Recently, because it happened before when he goes, you guys should all get vaccinated. Like he said that I got vaccinated, you should all get vaccinated. And it was like in Alabama, and they fucking booed him.
You could hear the betrayal. You could hear everybody going, "Hey, what?"
And if you, it's like the Simpsons episode where it's like if you freeze frame it at just the right moment, you could hear the moments their tiny hearts were broken. It's like,
They're still waiting for JFK. They still go out and wait
Oh
for
my
him
God, yeah, that's so
sometimes.
funny.
That's fantastic.
Have you seen the picture of the guy who they say is the JFK, who they suspect is the guy?
No.
you mean by the guy? You mean actually JFK?
Yeah, JFK Jr.
Oh.
Oh God, I hate putting this on my Google. I'm gonna do it in
No,
incognito
don't
mode.
you have a work laptop or something?
No, I'm gonna.
I'm worried about the Olaf variant because
I think we can call
It's
it
not
the
just
Oprah.
the O. You have it has to be like a O with a goofy science thing behind it.
no.
I wanted to call it the Oprah variant because
Omarion is hilarious. I've been calling it the Omarion variant.
we're
Again,
But it literally has 3 syllables and ends in on and starts at O. It
that's
fits.
nothing to do with
Omicron, Omarion.
comedy class.
You know what Omarion is?
Has been. I don't know. What's the last thing? What's the last thing he's done?
That was pretty dead on.
He was half and never was. What was that sitcom that he was on?
No, man, he was a singer.
But he was on a sitcom.
What is it?
When he was young.
Moesha?
That's not him.
I don't know. Moesha's a good show. I will always go to bat for a good show.
I love that show.
It spun off a lot of shows and careers were built on the back of Moesha because Ray J is Moesha's brother, and without that sex tape that Ray J made with Kim Kardashian would not be who she is.
Correct.
So thank Moesha for the keeping up with the Kardashians.
No, wow, you
in
got
this
there
TED
really
Talk,
fast.
I will. So
in this essay,
I went through a weird a TikTok thing. There was like this video that popped up.
Go on.
Talking about how the Kardashians have money that they launder money through a church, very specifically in LA. That it's a specific one branch of this church, and they hired this one guy to be the pastor. And since donations come in through the organization, they all go to that church. But the church also charges people membership fees to be a part of the church, like in the thousands of dollars. So all of this money is getting filtered through this untaxed organization.
Scientology, is that you?
It's not, but that's the thing is that
it's
like every religion, all of them. Did you hear about Joel Osteen's money walls?
Yes, that was fantastic.
What's his name? Oliver. What's his name? John Oliver.
Yeah.
On HBO last year or the year before, was talking about how these churches are, taxed. They don't get taxed or whatever. And he literally started a church. His show filled out the paperwork to start their own church, and they got it fucking done. And they actually started their own church, and people started sending money and donations. To which later on they bought a giant cake that said something of like the church's bullshit, whatever. But it's it's fucking absurd. Yeah.
And they made money. Like they started getting donations like tens of thousands. That's how actually later on they did a show where they just bought people's medical debt and just like, you're free.
I know, he's so great.
Right? Like you're free. A lot of that money came from the donations that they got from the fake church. But my favorite part about the fake church is that his wife is Rachel Dratch playing the best version of those wife lady, the church wives.
The church wives.
The preacher's wife. It's so fucking funny, and they just did a new one where the hair just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Oh, it's amazing.
Good times. Brittany was singing on one of her videos.
Oh my God.
Is it bad?
Okay.
Well, there's good. And then
there's good, and then there's this.
Well, to be fair,
a little pitchy.
Hold on. Before we get there, hold on. Let me do this.
Do not speak ill.
Do not speak. Well, before we talk shit about Brittany, let me just show you.
I'm giving you facts of what happened.
I know it's true.
Let me just show you. This is the guy who they think JFK Jr. is for the podcast listener. I'm posting up a picture of two very different people.
That is outrageous. I want to sue them. Nary.
It's
Don't
been
do
20 It's been
this.
20 years. It could be him.
Are you out of your mind?
It's been 20 years.
Since
But-
that guy showered? Yes, you're right.
But here's my thing.
I mean, he showered in the
I'm
ocean.
sorry, I've clicked the wrong thing.
Oh, no, you did. Oh, God.
Yeah, he's dead. He's not
Yeah.
gonna get offended. He died.
Yeah, he's fine.
He's dead. No, but my
He's
my
not. He's there.
he's right there. That's it. But here's the thing. That guy knows that he is not JFK Jr., right? Like that guy,
But he's going to
knows-
milk it.
of course. But that guy knows he's not.
Like
Listen.
to skip lines.
Listen,
I would milk it to skip.
Listen,
Sure, I'm
if-
JFK. Can I butt you?
if
I'd like to
if-
get to the front of Space Mountain, please.
if Ryan Reynolds does not correct people when they call him Ben Affleck, and
Love that.
me, Nary Science, do not correct people when they call me Ryan Reynolds, I don't think that guy's gonna correct anybody when they call him JFK Jr.
I'm just
I need a napkin. I
fascinated.
spit on myself.
I'm just fascinated with how like I can't believe like these people have to know that it's
No.
bullshit.
No.
And you get flashes of it. There's some subreddits that I go to that there's one called Parlor Watch where they just post like dumb shit from Parlor and Trump's other new thing or whatever that's supposed to be going up. That these
backyard.
people are like, hey, they said something like someone went back and looked at the dates and they were like, something was supposed to happen this day, and then nothing happened, and then something was supposed to happen this day, and then nothing happened, and I'm trying to maintain the faith, but they said something was going to happen this day, and nothing happened, and it's like a list of like 6 things, and I held strong. I've lost family over this. Like, there's people that are like so deep in it.
I gave
but
up on my father sooner than these fuckers have given up on Donald Trump. I was like, this guy's not coming. He's not coming. And I was like 8 or 9. And these fuckers are in hour 12. And they're like, any second now. Any second. No, any second now. Like, I don't understand.
I feel bad, like every car that turns the corner of the block, you're like,
That's how I was. I was telling Nary when I was waiting for my new MacBook. I'm like, I feel like I'm waiting for my dad again. When I was a kid, I'm like, is it him? Is it him? Oh,
It's like when they
not
bring
him.
your food in the restaurant, and then you're like, and then they take it to another.
Shit. Yeah.
I'll put my napkin.
Speaking of Ryan Reynolds, he had an interesting week, marketing week,
Yeah,
because the Chris Noth thing,
Chris Noth?
Noth?
I've heard it. Noth.
I've heard it. I've heard it pronounced asshole. Is that?
I've heard it.
Yeah.
I never heard pronounced unemployed or big time. Dead and douche. He got dropped by everyone. First, it was Peloton, which is an ego blow. But then his agency dropped him. His TV show dropped him.
He was on a TV show.
I mean,
yeah,
Peloton,
he was on a CBS like cop show or whatever. But
Peloton totally makes sense though that they drop him because they're like, haha, remember how funny the thing? Oh, shit.
Yeah. So,
oh boy.
he had a rough week.
He did die. Peloton was like, he did die. No. He.
He's dead.
Hey, we took it back.
JK, he's dead.
And then I think he made a comeback with that joke that he did on the podcast, the Hankering podcast of like people mistake him all the time for Ben Affleck and he doesn't correct them. He just takes a slice of pizza and he keeps walking. Yeah, it was a pizza joke.
It's a pizza joint that keeps, and it's like, how's J-Lo? And it's like, she's great.
Bye.
And leaves.
Which Benny Affleck had a rough week last week too. I don't think we talked about it. Did we talk about it last week?
No.
Oh,
No.
he had a rough week because he went on Howard Stern, and I think I'm chalking it up to just a bad choice of words. I don't necessarily. So here's for context, Mike. This is what happened. He went on Howard Stern, and the click it turned into clickbait more than anything else because I listened to the clip and he's talking to Howard Stern about his marriage to Jennifer Gardner and how
I think I saw
he started drinking because of it and he was stuck in a bad marriage and he was trying his best to make it work for the kids and at some point yada yada it fell apart.
Right.
That was in context of the conversation, that's the gist of what he said.
Yeah,
but because of the internet,
words. Those weren't the actual
it's
words.
a gist. But because of the internet, it fucking took off, and it's like Ben Affleck blames Jennifer Gardner for alcohol problem, and that's not what the fuck he said.
Well, of course, headlines. Yeah, I mean, whatever. What were the actual words he said?
I mean, I can pull it up, but
no, I just want to know, like, because that's the thing is that there's a like that's one of my big pet peeves when all of a sudden you click on an article and the headline does not say the article literally does not say like
It
refutes
says
its own headline.
during the interview,
Oh,
he
there you go.
says, "Being an alcoholic is part of my life. It's something that I deal with. It doesn't have to. No, that was not it, sir. Google, you are broken. Go home. You're drunk.
Did
We're gonna Phoenix
did you
tattoo.
Google tactical before
Yeah.
you used your computer?
Tactical.
Or
Well,
just do Howard Stern, Ben Affleck.
James. Oh wait, I was googling up something else, and then James Franco addresses his sexual misconduct allegations.
5 years later, stay home, guy.
I mean,
stay home, Squinty.
He says Squinty. That's funny.
Squint.
Let's see here. I'm trying to get the actual quote because they have a video. Well, now he's saying that he went on. So he went on Jimmy Kimmel to further explain.
Yes.
And he said they had literally taken the conversation I had for 2 hours and made it seem as if I was doing the exact opposite of what I said. As we told Jimmy Kimmel, I had gone on and said how much we respect each other and cared about each other and cared about our kids and put them first, and went through our stuff. And they said that I blame my ex wife for the alcoholism and that I was trapped. So,
well,
which is not at all what he said.
It's not her. It's his choice to be in this situation has repercussions. You know what I mean? Like it does wear on you. Like the same way when you see like that show Snapped. And then she snapped.
She snapped. I think it was really a bad choice of words. When I went in and I looked at it, whatever, I think it was more it was just interesting to see how not interesting, because I guess at this point I should be more jaded when it comes to the internet and how things just take off without anyone stopping to kind of ask what the fuck actually happened.
So I found the quote.
Okay, go ahead.
It says Affleck told Stern that if he remained married to Gardner, he quote, "I'd probably still be drinking. It's part of why I started drinking, because I was trapped."
That's not that bad. That just sounds like a straightforward kind of
when Missy told me about it last week, or Missy read the quote to me last week, I was like,
right.
Like, that's why people drink. That's why people drink, because they're in a situation that they don't want to be in.
So
they're self-soothing some
right.
problem.
No,
yeah.
I mean, I think everyone to a certain degree self-medicates. Just some of them turn into addictions.
You're like,
bro, we gotta clean up all of that shit on the side. They were so hard to find that video.
No, I keep those specifically for
that. So the internet took off and he had a shit week. So I got drunk by mistake on Friday night. And it was 100% by mistake. It was 100%. I swear it was. It was 100% by mistake. So as I was falling asleep, I thought it was a genius idea to go on my Instagram stories and be like, "Hey guys, what do you think?"
Is that what that was? I saw a whole bunch of them, but I was like, "I'll put it away. I'll watch them later." And then
I was like, "What do you think the odds are that who did I say? Jake Gyllenhaal, Anthony Ramos, and Benny Affleck all have a group text like, it's gonna get better, guys. Don't worry."
What happened to Jake Gyllenhaal? Oh, he made
the Taylor Swift thing. Yeah.
He didn't do anything.
No,
to Taylor Swift.
He didn't do anything to her. The whole thing with Jake Gyllenhaal being dragged, I blame again the internet more than Taylor Swift, because all she did was, this would happen. Just listen, Mike. Just listen. Mm-hmm. All she did was, when she released Red like 10 years ago, right? There was a song about him in that album, right? Flash forward to now, a couple of years ago, she tried to buy the rights to her masters, and they wouldn't sell it to her. So she went back into the studio and it has been re-recording her catalog from before Reputation and releasing it. What she did,
guy named Scooter,
right? That asshole. And then he wouldn't sell it back to her.
I feel like calling a guy named Scooter an asshole is kind of like, you know,
calling the kettle black.
Yeah. It's redundant. It's like
redundant. It's like
nobody calls somebody nobody who's named Scooter is not an asshole.
Right.
So she re-recorded one of the ones that she recorded was Red, and she dropped it a couple of months ago. What she did was release the original 10-minute version of the song that she made about Jake Gyllenhaal and that relationship. And then she made a video about it. So as a promotional thing, obviously, she like that was what all the Taylor Swift people were going crazy. And for a solid week, they were dragging the shit out of Jake Gyllenhaal. And I was like, why, guys? Like, it's just like, why? Like, leave
I've come to the
alone.
conclusion that the fans of things ruin the things for themselves.
Yes!
Like, they want to ruin it. Like Star Wars and all of these other, and like even Marvel. Like I saw Vince. I mean, I don't know if this is a spoiler for Hawkeye. Should I say Hawkeye things?
No, don't.
No.
Okay. But there's comments in response to something that was said on Twitter, and people like to the actor were like, nah, they're gonna fuck it up and blah 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 blah.
Oh, the girl that was in Last Jedi, that she got so much hate she quit the internet.
Yeah, like but that's that was like straight up racism. Like that like wasn't even
also
like
she kissed some guy without consent, so that was weird.
She did do that, but also like the whole thing about like if the show is not about a historical figure, there's no need to excuse diversity. You know what I mean? Like there's no need to write into the story, oh, this is why she's Asian. No, it's fucking space, man. Right. There's a walking gorilla talking Chewbacca, like a Yoda. Like there for sure. There's a Filipino lying around somewhere. There's there's a black person. There's white people.
Bill Burr got a lot of shit because they're like, oh really? They have Boston accents in space, and then his reply was, oh really? They speak English in space.
Yeah.
The fuck? Like that's your problem? Your problem with the Boston accent is not the fucking English part. Raw aliens. Everybody here's an alien in space, and they're like,
my favorite Star Wars movie.
Boston accent.
Yeah, my favorite. It's hard to say because this is a bold. Like I hear myself say it, and I'm like yeah. But my favorite Star Wars movie is Rogue One. That's my favorite movie.
That's my favorite.
And
I liked it a lot.
And one of the things that I laugh about in that movie is that it's basically a carnival of accents. There's literally everybody has a fucking accent in that movie. You know, Donnie Yen is in it. The fucking Felicity Jones has a British accent. And then like and what's that guy's name? Diego Luna.
Has a British accent except Donnie Yen.
Well, no, Diego Luna's like, I've been in this since I was 6 years old. You know, like he does like
that's such a great impression of him,
right? He's
also a great impression of his uncle. And it's also a good
literally
impression.
He's a Chilean actor, and
everybody in Mike's family speaks.
Well, ironically, nobody does, but like I love saying that like my entire family is a bunch of Kubichi assholes. It's like I have been in. It's like Galen Urso sent me, like all that shit. I love that movie, but also like I hear the accents and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. That's gotta bother somebody. I don't care, but like I can hear that would bother somebody. No,
it bothers you when Van Damme speaks in any movie. That, oh my god, I can't with this fucking accent. Like,
Van Damme is playing somebody on Earth that has a reference for what it's supposed to sound like.
He's an Earthling. He's an Earthling.
He is Colonel Guile of the United States military forces.
Yeah, to the listener. This goes back to an episode of Kick Flicks where Mike is like, this Van Damme is playing an American soldier and he has a thick accent, and I'm like, yeah, there are American soldiers that have non-American accents. It happens. It literally happens in real life. And he's like, yeah, but
they have to. It was in Double Impact where they have to explain why both of these twins who were raised separately from each other have fucking French accents. One of them was raised in Hong Kong and the other was raised in the United States. How the fuck do they have French accents?
And that's the most realistic thing of that movie, right?
No, wait. That's not true. One of them was raised in France, in Paris, and the other one was raised in a French orphanage in Hong Kong.
Yeah, you see how many steps they had to go through?
He's not raised. What steps? It was literally one line. It was literally one line of the movie. Like, why do you think I raised you in Paris all these years? And Mike's like, oh, I can't follow this. This is too much for me to follow.
He's like, I am from the mean streets of Boston, Massachusetts. Like I'm like, why? Just make it for fucking France.
you like that's your problem. Like you're like, I wonder if somebody that's gonna bother somebody about Star Wars. It bothered you. Like you literally are that guy
The
who's
man
like
in the mirror.
he
It
can't be an
bothers the man in
American
the mirror.
soldier with an accent. Yes, actually he can. There's a lot of American soldiers with accents.
Sure. But but
Okay.
it's not. I hate it. But also, like,
But I hate it.
it's also
If you're American, you should
what,
have no accent. Take it easy, Republican. Take it easy.
no.
Bring it down a notch.
Huh? How dare you? But the idea of that's an insult at this point. That's like,
that's how I meant it. I
that's
did not.
super
I did
insulting.
not. There was no way that I meant it like in a nice
Yeah.
way. There's no way you
Yeah,
could
yeah.
say that. Like,
Oh, Lord.
My thing is, has Van Damme ever played something in a fantasy setting like a Star Wars or
Street Fighter's pretty fantastic.
I know it's fantastical, but has he done like a space movie where he fights in space?
You know, not that I think of, not that I know of.
If they put Jean-Claude Van Damme in Star Wars, which actually now that I say it out loud, I really want them to put Van Damme in Star Wars.
So fucking, I would. Oh my god!
Like-
If he had a lightsaber fucking leg where he could do the fucking,
he does the full, and it comes out of his toe. Zoom.
oh, it's
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I mean, we're
Now
starting
I
the
want
petition, right?
Van Damme.
We're starting the petition. I'm assuming,
Yeah.
right? This is how it happened.
I'm definitely
His
signing
accent,
it.
they could say whatever the fuck they wanted, and even in the Expendables when he's just like some French military person who's a bad guy now. I totally like that's okay. It's always funny the hoops they have to jump through because they wrote a script that does not have a French actor like in mind.
I love the way you call it. I love the way you call it hoops when it's literally one line of description. And it's
but it's so jarring. It so takes me out of the movie.
You cut back to Mike multiple times throughout the years on this podcast saying things like, all you need to do is give me that one line where you set up the rules and then I'm fine with it. And then here comes Van Damme who's giving you that one line to set up the rules. And Mike goes, no, what the fuck?
It's not a good enough line.
Through hoops?
It's not a good enough. No, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of, do you remember in that Transformers movie where all of a sudden they have to explain why the girl's a teenager and the guy she's dating is an adult, and he's like, oh, what, you don't know what the Romeo and Juliet laws are? And the guy carries around the thing that says that he can have sex with a teenager.
What? Where's that?
In the first Transformers with the Marky Mark with Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, the reboot.
My friend,
Okay.
That's the fourth.
It's the first one with Marky Mark.
It's the first one with Marky Mark is what he said.
I couldn't remember which one it was, but he straight up there at one point. Some scriptwriter decides
because the girl's dating the guy that's the
race car driver.
Race car driver. It's all coming back to me now.
And he's like, and she's 17, and he is 20 something, and they're like, yeah, the law says that we could be like essentially says, I was fucking your daughter when it was legal. And now I can continue fucking her because we started fucking when she was, you know what I mean? Like when I was
here's the here's the legal
statute. In his wall, he flips it like it's his badge,
like it's an FBI badge.
So excuse me, sir, I'm here to fuck your teenage daughter. You know, like
so.
Flip.
Please step aside.
That part is even more hilarious because of the fact that movie takes place in a post. I don't want to say apocalyptic, but it's in a world where there was a war on Earth.
A post-Transformers situation.
A post-Transformer war. There was a Cybertron war on Earth. And this guy still has to worry about the laws of fucking a chick. Like, what? Like the entire...
Well,
like,
I mean, I feel like...
There were cities... fucking like multiple cities, not just one. It wasn't like 9/11 with buildings. And again, I'm not dissing 9/11. I'm just saying, like, I'm not downplaying 9/11. I'm just saying, like, it was multiple cities where the entire city of Chicago was shut down because it was destroyed. And this guy still has to worry about fucking a chick not his age. Like, I think that's hilarious.
Well, they started dating before the Cybertron wars, and then she was a teenager. They were both teenagers.
I think
Rookie says that's how you know the dude is trustworthy because he has the law.
Because he's done his homework.
He says they could have. So loud.
That's loud.
They could have just made her 18, but the screenwriter had to work through some issues, I guess. That was that bit. I used to do a bit about that Benny Mardones song Into the Night, and the first line of the song is she's just 16 years old.
Oh, there's so many songs like that. Stevie B has a song where he's like, Forbidden Love, and it's like you're 16, and it's like, what are you
Yes.
singing along to, Stevie? Take
And
it.
there's a part in the bit where I'm just like, that song had to go through like a lot of hands, the studio guy, the producer, the record label guy, and at no point did anybody be like, hey, Benny, can we just make her 18? And he's like, no, she has to be 16, otherwise the song isn't true to life. I mean,
as my art sees it. And then the second point that I wanted to bring up, he was in a sci-fi movie, but it wasn't in space. It was Time Cop.
Well, he was also Universal Soldier, where he was a cyborg,
Yeah.
where they downloaded a French accent into his brain.
He was not a cyborg, sir. He was not a cyborg. That's where you're wrong.
Yeah, that's the problem with my assessment of that movie.
Yeah, that's where you're wrong. I didn't say that's your problem. I said that's where you're wrong.
Fair.
What is he wrong about, Neri?
He's not a cyborg. He's a human being that he was cryogenically frozen and brought back to life in a different time. And he's under the power of a serum that helps him regenerate. And yeah, that's not a cyborg.
I feel like
in the movie
Cyborg.
In the movie Cyborg, he may have been a cyborg, but that's not what he's talking
Doesn't he
about.
have a brain implant or some sort of mechanical addition to him?
I can't believe you have to go to work tomorrow.
Thing.
Oh.
It's like they put him in like this.
Well, now my whole life has changed because of my perceptions on Universal Soldier.
Like the pandemic may have played a factor in that.
Pandemic. Oh my god, I love how people gave cute names. I'm losing my mind over here.
I'm sorry, but sometimes it makes it funny. Like calling it a Panda Express.
Never. It's never called it. It's never made it funny.
The problem, it's like crazy because like
I'm not angry at you. I'm just saying you like sometimes it makes it funny. I go never. It's never in the history of history.
Well, there's somebody I know with that starts with the name of P. I won't say it on air, but sometimes I call it that name, and it's funny to some people. Nobody in this room, so I don't know why I brought it up. Anyway, what were you saying?
Did you accidentally get drunk 2 minutes ago?
No.
Yeah. Oh,
starts with the name of P. I don't even know what that means.
There's an element of the pandemic that I think the fact that we've gotten to the point where, man, this is second Christmas in the pandemic. And I still have to explain masks to people occasionally. Someone will talk to me and I'm like, oh, not in a mean way, not like in a mean way, but like there's like a whole thing about like they still don't understand the concept of the masks is to keep your spit off of other people, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like that's step one. Then the more powerful things can come into play. But the last thing, like whenever someone's like, oh, because they weren't wearing a mask and da-da-da-da. And I'm like, yeah. She's like, but I was wearing mine, so I felt protected. I'm like, well, I mean, you still gotta stay away from them. Like you want to socially distance. Yeah, no, but the mask will protect me. I have this. And then I was like, oh, that's not, we're 2 years into this.
So I have a question, and I mean
think it's because people give it cute names. I think that's why they're not understanding. They're not understanding the fucking.
Mike, are you
missed it by that much?
Am I? What?
I mean this like out of genuine like friendship, not roasting you or anything. But are you still talking to your therapist? Because I feel like you got to make sure you have him.
I have an outlet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chiquita's a licensed.
Oh, I was gonna say.
No.
What?
Oh, here's another thing.
So no, got it.
In the mental health department. In the mental health, yeah. For comedic effect, let's talk about this. My psychiatrist retired mid-treatment.
Jesus Christ!
But she didn't retire from taking cash payments. She
was
retired from accepting my insurance.
She was doing it for 30 years, and then she got Mike, and she was like, "I'm done. I'm out."
That's fucking awful.
Yeah, so I told my doctor, and my doctor's like, "That's super fucked up. What's her name? I have to talk to somebody about it." I'm like, "Yes, please, thank you." Because I was still medicated. I was still taking medication, which I've weaned off of some of them.
Mike is totally that kid that went to Tattletale. Like, and doctor's like,
I feel like
I went to my primary doctor because I could not find. All mental health professionals have stopped taking insurance. Like the collective group that I was going to was like, oh, we don't have anyone that takes insurance that's accepting new patients because they're all booked up, right? Because apparently everybody's in crisis. I wonder 2 years into a pandemic, everyone's needs a little therapy.
I think if they would have just called it pandemic, I think a lot of those people
Yeah.
would have been easy.
But no, it's a plandemic. That's what it is. No. But yeah, no.
Peter Griffin.
I'm slowly, I was like, at a certain point, it was just like every day I'd be like, let's see this person. Let's spin the wheel. Let's see if they accept this. And
Have you thought of like going national? Like,
oh yes, but
and
then
still?
I still have to. But no, the thing is that like the cost jumps for me from like with my insurance and all that fucked up way it works from $0. I pay nothing if they take my insurance to like $250. Like, and I'm like, there's a big gap in between that and then a PS5 every 3 sessions. You know what I mean? Like, like that's just too much.
Yeah, it adds
too
up.
much money.
Was it
$250
Will Watkins that has that joke about how much more affordable fattening food is? And organic food is like, oh, you could get this shit that's been sprayed with pesticides. For you get that apple for 45 cents, or you could get this organic apple for $347. Is it him that has that joke? I forgot who has that joke.
I don't remember, but
it just reminds me of this. It's like, look, you could get.
Jim Gaffigan had a thing like that where he's like, you can get this bag of apple. It's like you could get the like 16 Whoppers for a nickel. Like he did it the other way. Like just yeah.
That sucks.
But yeah, no. So like genuinely, it's.
So you have to decide whether you want your mental health or money.
Or I mean, look, I'm not gonna drop $250 a session.
Oh, again, that's
crazy.
This is not a shot at you. I'm saying like, you have to decide.
Insane.
You have to make a decision. Like it's like crazy.
I contacted, and even those like those we should get sponsored by BetterHelp, because they're on like every podcast now. They were advertising BetterHelp. Well, you better fucking help me then, because I can't get anyone to take my fucking insurance.
And what's outrageous is like you would think that with all the bullshit of like, oh, frontline health workers are such heroes and yada yada yada, they would fucking throw you a bone at the very
I don't want
least.
to talk about
not for nothing, but he did get pizza.
Pizza party, baby. That's right.
Pizza party.
All problems are solved by the pizza party. That's like a running joke in the healthcare thing now. Like if you look at like they'll pizza party you to death, but then like they'll short staff the Rookie says a PS5 will also improve my mental health. Just saying.
He's batting 1,000 this
He's
one.
not wrong.
That's awful.
It's like that. But also genuinely like it's wild because as many people in New York got exposed, healthcare workers are among the thing. We haven't been staffed appropriately in months. And the only time we were staffed appropriately was with travel nurses who can refuse the vaccine technically, but not in New York. So New York can't use the travel nurses anymore.
Oh, so you're all fucked out.
Yeah. And in the process of the COVID thing, we had
crystals.
Huh?
No.
No, we pray. Yeah.
One of the funniest memes. One of the fucking funniest memes I've ever seen is the one that you said, I want to share this with my family just to piss them off, but it'd be fucking great.
I can't.
It's so great. It's literally a cartoon of people at a funeral, at a wake. And the priest is saying, we're all here because your prayers didn't work.
Yeah. We're all gathered here today because your thoughts and prayers didn't work.
That's hilarious.
This is America.
Yeah. The fuck, what was I gonna say about that? Oh, in the middle of COVID, our union contracts came up again, and they were saying that we're tightening budgets and all that stuff. And I'm like, motherfucker, the CEO still made millions. You got a bunch of money from the government to staff us. It's because they got PPP loans, and they don't want to have to pay them back.
Do you know who else got PPP loans?
Walmart, I think.
Among other people, Kanye West.
Yep.
Got a PPP loan. There was like a story on it today that the FBI is saying that there was something along the lines of like $450 million.
In PPP fraud?
in PPP fraud, and then there's a report saying that that number could be up to 4 times higher than that. And then they give a list of celebrities and big companies that took advantage of the PPP, wrongfully so, including Kanye West. The name that popped out to me, Kanye West and Tom Brady, were names that popped out to me.
Fucking Tom Brady, of course, Tom Brady.
That's how he paid. He needed that money to be able to beat the Dolphins. You don't need that much money to beat the Dolphins.
So
hey man, we've won our last bunch of games.
6.
So
Yeah.
Mike was in my
exciting.
DMs because last week I was like, I posted a meme of like after the pandemic is over, it's starting to sound a lot like next time we win this game, and it's like the Dolphin fans or some shit like that. He's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was like when this pandemic is over is starting to sound a lot like when the Dolphins make the playoffs.
That one.
And it's like, fuck, damn. Because that's really the only time when it comes to the Dolphins, I think, is the only time I really start getting into the magical thinking, where I start to I have thoughts and prayers.
To the magic.
When
really?
it comes,
you have thoughts and prayers
that's what
just
it's called.
for the Dolphins?
We are in this situation because we've allowed people to believe in magic and fantasy for too long.
Okay.
We've allowed it to happen for so long that people think that dude is JFK Jr.
Right.
Like that's where we're at. We've had
so
people
you're saying
believe
that we should pull like D&D from the shelves and
No.
kill all of Star Wars and Marvel movies.
That's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
But if you happen to think that Lord of the Rings is real, then no, you can't, we can't allow you to hold public office. Like if you believe that you can fly off to a galaxy far, far away and hang out with your Chewbacca friend as a reality,
right.
then no.
Correct.
But if you
are
if you
unqualified
believe,
for the job. Correct. You're right.
If you believe in magic, that you can heal
Why don't
people
we get a
with
whiteboard?
touch.
Why don't we get a whiteboard and we decide what's real and what's not? Okay. Angels.
It's called fucking
real.
Science.
Angels, real. Right? Everybody knows
sure.
that.
Look
Unicorns.
at him. He's having a seizure. Stop it.
Where do we land on unicorns? Used to be real, but now extinct.
So
you want to know what unicorns were? Goats. Somebody saw a goat with a fucked up horn and made I thought it was like some creature. I wrote the story. Have you ever seen medieval scripture, right? Or like those drawings in the margins of like books where they draw like snails and trumpets coming out of people's assholes and cats that don't look like cats, and they're what they thought a gorilla looked like is crazy. Somebody saw a fucking alligator and they're like, that's a dragon. And then now come on.
No, I get it.
But if you believe, honestly, if you believe in magic, that magic is real, that real, it's like the virus isn't real. Okay, the virus does not care if you think it is real or not.
You think it's real, not right.
You know what I mean? I saw something written down. And it was basically like, if you write down what you find out, science is basically fuck around and find out. Like that's literally how we know what reality is that we fucked around and found out.
Science changes, Mike. It changes.
Science doesn't change. Science is the process of discovering reality.
We used to think the world was flat.
Nobody thought that.
And now we're back.
Eratosthenes discovered it in the ancient Greek times.
In Columbus times, he thought the world was a pear shape with a nipple on top.
Excuse me.
That's a thing. Christopher Columbus used to think that the earth was not flat, but pear-shaped with a nipple on the top.
Nobody thought the earth was flat.
I think he was projecting his spine.
I don't know if you're hearing this part. He used to think that the earth was shaped like a pear with a nipple on the top. Don't forget the nipple on the top.
Okay.
The fact that your thing is nobody thought the world was flat. This is even fucking stupider.
Wait.
The
pear shape is closer to round than flat.
With a nipple on the top? With a nipple on the top?
Well, I'm just saying
maybe
because
he
of the
thinks
nipple. Maybe because he had the nipple in his mind. I'm going to say that he was probably projecting a sexual fantasy more than trying to.
Have you seen there? Okay, that's not that far off. One of the moons of Mars.
These are guys that fucked manatees and they thought that they were mermaids.
Oh, you want to know every?
Ew, is that real?
Yeah.
They didn't fuck manatees. They saw manatees and thought they were real.
And you think after being at sea for 8 months and you think you see a fucking half woman, half fish, you think you're not going to go fuck it? They fuck manatees, Mike.
They didn't live to tell the tale. I'll tell you that.
The tail.
No, do you want to know what the story is on
Get it? Tail.
on like sea monsters and big sea serpents? You
Yeah.
want to know what that is?
What?
Whale dicks. It's whales will surface with their dicks in the air and slap them on the water as a form of relief or pleasure or stretching the dick out. You know, sometimes you just got to scratch your balls or whatever. I don't know what it was, but so like if you look at pictures of whale dicks above the water, people are like talking about these great sea serpents, and it's like, ha ha ha, ha. Those were penises.
What
So
do you
when
think
they said
what do you
unleash
think
the
was a
Kraken,
mythical-
it was actually just an orgy.
Yeah. Like, yeah. Or like the
Whale
giant
orgy.
squid. Have you ever seen giant squids? Look fucking crazy, man. They're super cool. But
Oh,
like the
man.
real world is so much crazier than whatever like the magic
No.
that people believe in. It's so wild. Space is fucking crazy, man. Let me get it. Space is fucking crazy.
Did we ever find any Am I the Assholes in our thread?
Yes.
We have two. You
We have
sent
two.
two. Which one
Oh.
should I read? Should I read?
Read the Spider-Man one.
Yeah. Did you guys have we all seen No Way Home yet?
No.
I have, but she has not.
Oh, I loved it. It was great.
I'm sorry.
I didn't ask. Am I the asshole?
I'm gonna ask you. What the fuck?
Am I the asshole for buying Spider-Man tickets for myself, but not my boyfriend?
Dun,
So,
dun,
as
dun.
everybody knows, the new Spider-Man movie is out today. My boyfriend really wanted to see it tonight, but couldn't get tickets for the time he wanted. This morning, I asked if we could go tomorrow, and he said, I'll think about it. And then he started talking about how he wants to see it so badly. I said, well, I asked you if you want to go tomorrow, and I'd buy tickets. And he said, yeah. And I asked, oh, you just don't want to see it with me? And then he made a face suggesting that was it, but felt bad saying it. I asked why, and he said, because you aren't as hyped as me. And I said,
He's a
well,
gatekeeper.
He's totally gatekeeping. Well, I said, well, I am very excited, but I'm not expressing it, and moved on from the topic. Very mature. I found a single seat at a showing that starts at 2 o'clock. Bought my ticket and started getting ready. My boyfriend asked where I was going, and I said to get lunch by myself and see Spider-Man. He got upset and said, without me? And I reminded him that he didn't want to go without me. I am currently at lunch, and I just got done reading a message from him expressing how upset he is. So she's at lunch. This is mid-asshole question.
Asshole? Question?
Beyonce. I am currently at lunch, and I just got done reading a message from him expressing how upset he is with me, and that it was a dick move for me to go see the movie he was so excited for, and that he was only joking, and I should have known that. I told him I'm still going to see it, and he hasn't responded since. Am I the asshole? Oh, edit to elaborate. Edit to add. He just told me he wanted to see it with me, but not the first time. LOL. Wanted me to see it with him his second time watching it, and it being my first time. So that was the walk back that he did. Is she an ass? Well, here's the thing. They're both. The guy is an asshole for sure. But is she an asshole for pursuing that?
No.
No, she's an asshole for being with him. She's an asshole for staying with him.
This is. I mean, I don't know. It could be. We don't know
What?
the ages of these people. And Rookie says depends. Is he a 17-year-old? And look, I'll get it. When you're young, you don't know how to communicate effectively. You know, like he didn't.
I don't think that's what he's going for.
You know what it is? She was 16 years old.
Oh my god. No, she's not the asshole. I don't think she's the asshole at all.
I think she's the asshole for staying with this guy. Like,
yeah,
this guy is clearly a piece of shit. But it's funny to me. It's interesting.
You just cut her off. You just cut off Missy. Missy was like literally started saying something, and you just cut her off.
I'm sorry. I didn't know.
It's okay. No, I just think that like there are certain things that are it sounds ridiculous, but I don't think it will. Let's find out together. There are just certain things that are sacred, and for me, the Marvel cinematic experience is sacred. So if you're gonna fuck around and like, not be undecided on whether or not you want to see it, I'm usually motivated to want to go as soon as possible, just because the internet exists and I don't want anything to get spoiled for me.
Yes.
So if you're not coming with me, I'm going by myself, and we can fight about it later if you want. But
Yeah.
that it is what it is, and really, all of these situations, I think, in general, are just like a reflection of the relationship to begin with. So, like, maybe we should unpack that when we get home.
That is 100% my reason for going to see things and watching things as soon as possible, because I cannot stand even they just make like someone just posted a casting announcement for something in the future that kind of ruins something that's going to come out soon. Like it's like for the next step in the story, and I'm just like, fuck, because now I know somehow it's going to lead to this other thing, and I'm like, all right, but I'm sure, like that's not a spoiler, but I don't want to know shit. I know I'm going to see something. It's like Marvel, the Marvel and even DC and all that stuff, like the promotion, the budget is like, well, I mean, like, who doesn't know about these movies at this point? But I hate being spoiled. So, but going back to this thing, very specifically, Chiquita has seen the Marvel things, and we've been to see all of them because I want to go see them. I would never not take her because she's not as into it as I am. You know what I mean? Like, if she wants to not come, it's her call.
Yeah, she took you to go watch the fucking Sex in the City spinoff, even though you're not into it as much as she is, and she fucking still took you along, so that's
I mean, that was streaming, so we watched it here in the house. But yeah, I watched stuff with her that I was not interested in.
Yeah.
But it's not like, but she was so into it. That's the thing she was saying. She was like, I didn't really understand a lot of certain aspects of it because I guess she hadn't really followed with the Andrew Garfield Spider-Mans and whatnot. And so she was like confused why this was a big deal and all that stuff. And the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man is 20 something years ago. So at a certain point, she was like, I don't know what's going on, but you look really happy about it.
Aww.
And she was like, oh, you look. She was like watching me watch the movie, and I was having like full meltdown moments.
Well, wait. So I mean, sidebar, but do I need to watch the other Spider-Mans to understand this one? Not the Tom. Yeah. Oh, fuck. Why did I ask? Shit.
Why? I mean, there's no reason not to.
They explain it to you in the movie.
Yeah.
They literally go like, this guy died this way.
Right.
You die this way. Like they literally explain that.
Yes.
But if you haven't, it makes more sense if you've seen it. You go, oh, that's right. I mean,
it absolutely makes more sense if you've seen it. But
I would stay away from Spider-Man's 2 and 3 with Tobey Maguire just because they're hot garbage.
No, Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, it's hot garbage. So,
but it's the one Spider-Man 2 is important to the story.
I know. Well, I guess I'll find out. I mean, there's always the 4.5 million times I'll rewatch these movies, so
yeah,
I'll catch on eventually.
It's worth watching to give you the full experience. Yeah,
I'll give it a shot. I am in the middle of a Harry Potter bender, so I can't digress right now.
Yeah, she'll watch this Spider-Man in like 15 years.
Actually, I'm going next week, smarty pants.
Well, you're watching Harry Potter 15 years later, so I assume that it would be the same.
Is this your first time watching the Harry Potters?
Yes.
Reading and watching the movies.
You hadn't seen them at all? Yeah.
But I had seen them. I had seen. Yeah, I am. I am a huge reader.
Aren't you supposed to be a big reader?
I am.
I didn't say aren't you supposed to. I said, aren't you a big reader?
Yes, I am. And there are certain pop culture moments that I missed, and I'm gifting my inner child.
Let me tell you something about Missy. Okay, I'm gonna talk about her like she's not here because people.
Oh, great! I love when that happens.
People love when you do that, right? Missy.
Oh no! Wait, I did it up too.
That's funny.
Missy loves when you recommend something, when something comes highly recommended to her, because she will put her foot down and say no out of pure spite. I refuse to watch something that's coming. Are you somebody I respect and like as a human being and as a person? Yes. Well then, no. I'm not.
Maybe I'm stubborn. Who knows?
So.
You can vomit, it's
Missy
fine.
has that. Missy's legit. Like, I've never met anybody else who is like that episode of Seinfeld where it was like, oh, out of spite, I'm returning it out of spite. Like, I'm returning this jacket out of spite. That is Missy to the T. She's just like, hey, what should I watch? I'm like, oh, you know what I really like? You know what show I really watch? XYZ. And she's like, not gonna watch that show. Like, just actively decides to not watch that show because it's the reverse of this. Am I the asshole?
Right.
You had too much enthusiasm. Oh, you have a lot of enthusiasm. I'm out. And so I didn't know Missy when Harry Potter books first came out or their movies first came out. But going based upon the results, which is she hasn't seen the movies 20 years later, she started now watch movies, is that she had to wait for the craze to calm down from all her friends who are watching and reading the movies and books for her to finally be like, I'll give it.
It's nice of you to think that I've had friends the entire time I've been alive. That's very generous on your behalf. So I thank you.
Well, I mean,
That's
the
part of the story that I was
old.
focusing on. I was talking about
The books are 20 years old and you're 38. So
yeah.
I gave you
Wow.
18 years without friends.
But wait, so
that's not why I didn't watch it, but it's not why, but that is a very solid founded theory.
So you're a contrarian. Like you're like if someone is like this is great, you're like, well, I'm gonna think it's not.
Well,
are you worried that you're just gonna not think it's not, or do you automatically
She doesn't like people pushing it upon her.
because
And
what
pushing it
happens is
means, hey, this is good, watch it.
no, because that's not okay. Now you're being an asshole. Because
Now
that's not,
I thought I was being an asshole the whole time. I'm sorry.
That's not why. That's not
Yeah.
why I will. That's not why generally you have to try and shove something down my throat consistently. And like the thing that you find
And
cute
that
about
is at 1 hour 10 minutes 13 seconds. We're gonna save that. Put that out of context.
no, because what happens is you know how you thought it was cute that your girlfriend was like watching you watch the thing.
Mm-hmm.
There are people in my life, not Neri, but there are people in my life that put that kind of fucking pressure on me. So they're like, oh my God, you have to watch it. And then they watch me watch it. And it's just too much pressure because now I'm going to let you down if I'm not crazy about it.
I mean, I'm like that with certain things like that Chiquita was. I've shown Chiquita. We're watching, it was just on because I love it. And I was
Don't see Friday Night Lights.
No. The Rocketeer. I like
Okay.
that movie. I like the movie. I like the style.
I love that movie. Yeah.
It's like a comfort movie for me. And I was just watching it with Chiquita, and she was like getting into it and all that stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, Jennifer Connelly's so beautiful and all this stuff. And then pointing out actors that have then gone on to be famous, like the lady jazz singer is Melora Hardin from Office Space,
Right.
The Office. I'm sorry. Yeah. Jan Levinson Gould, no longer with Gould.
Did he die?
But yeah, like she's like we're watching that, and look, I get it. Not everybody's gonna like the things I like. You should see her face when I try to tell her about D&D. There's just like there's just like this moment of like
the face that you and I have, Missy. We should look at each other in the mirror.
That's not true. I support my friends.
Yeah, like that. And then but that's okay. Like I'm not gonna judge her for it. You should have seen her trying to tell me about Sex in the City, the lore, the Sex in the City lore while we were watching this new series. You should have seen us trying to break it down. Like she
should have made a PowerPoint.
She told me the movie word for word as I was watching the new series.
Fan.
But like I will tell you that it was genuinely like then she's like, okay, and then we put the movie on after it so that she could show me, and she wanted to see it. And then so we were watching it, and she literally like fucking hit all the beats, and I was like, baby, what are you doing? You're like so good at this. You remembered this perfectly.
So anyway, in an exaggerated version of Neri's theory, he is right, but you have to pester me about it, and then I don't want to do it.
I don't like that either.
It gets annoying, and I just and then you're.
That's accurate.
What do you do when you have something that you love and you want to share it with people?
I mention it, and then unless it's on the rare exception that stuff that I'm really crazy about, like I admit I came clean a couple of weeks ago that I was like, the way that I feel about certain shows that have been shoved, like beat over my head to watch it is probably how people feel about me when I bring up Aaron Sorkin or The Newsroom, because I won't shut up about that show. And now I see it. I see it from my perspective, and I am fucking annoying. Not just that point, but just like for this sake. And so I get it. And probably I've turned people off from watching The Newsroom because I've brought it up so many times, and that's fine.
Not I was asking, like, when you like, okay, so like, how do you tell people about Aaron Sorkin? Like, how do you tell them? What projects do you point to?
Remember Andy Bernard when he brings up Cornell? That's her.
That's who the Aaron Sorkin. So are you watching Being the Ricardos?
I am. I plan on watching it. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm gonna.
Is it out yet?
It's a movie. Yeah, it's out on Prime. Yeah, it's out on Prime.
I thought it was a show.
But Aaron Sorkin wrote it, right?
He's involved. I don't
he's
know to what extent, but he is
involved.
involved.
But
I don't
yeah,
know. I just think it's I don't know. I'm broken.
what a fucking cop out. I'm asking. So, like, you love Aaron Sorkin.
I love
What
him.
would you tell someone if you want someone to break into this person that you enjoy, this thing you enjoy, without overwhelming them, without judging them? What would you tell them to check out?
If I'm talking about, like, my go-to recommendation is always, I think, until further notice, is going to be The Newsroom, because I think that that's a great case study in how and what journalism with integrity would look like, and how impactful that would be to our society as an entire planet. So that's my pitch to people, that,
Is to
like, you
check out
should
The
watch it,
Newsroom.
because, like, especially when and it has to come up. It generally comes up in a generic way. So, like, you have to be bitching about the media. You have to be bitching about them. I said generally. Well, maybe not. I don't know. I'm done.
I love that face. That was such a good expression.
It
That's the pursed lips,
generally
like, get the
it
fuck out.
generally comes up if we're talking about something where you're bitching about the media, and I'm like, you should check out the show. Some people have taken the bait, most people have not, and that's fine.
What if
And
someone comes back to you? And these are all hypotheticals. You don't have to, just off the top of your head. Like, someone goes to watch a Newsroom, and they're like, what a pretentious fuck that guy is, trying to, like, talk down by the third season. He's like talking down to the audience, like, explaining Glass-Steagall to us. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Right. You're entitled to that opinion. That doesn't hurt my feelings.
She does that.
I recommended Gilmore Girls to a bunch of my friends, and one of them finally caved, and she couldn't make it through the first season. She's like, "I'm sorry, I quit." And I'm like, "That's cool."
Is that Aaron Sorkin too?
No, it's not Aaron Sorkin, but I'm fucking crazy about that show too. So it's like, I don't know.
She's that writer, the
Amy
same
Sherman
one.
Palladino, she's great.
That now I want to see Aaron Sorkin's version of Gilmore Girls.
It's
Just a bunch of walk and talks.
It's the same version.
Oh, it's the same. It's the same thing.
Very similar styles. Very long monologues. The difference between Sorkin and what's this chick's name?
Amy Sherman Palladino.
Amy. The difference between Sorkin and Amy is that Sorkin has a monologue, like a long monologue. Each character has like a long, whatever. Amy has two characters doing monologues at the same time, cutting each other off.
Oh yeah,
this is not a slight. This is not a dig at Amy or the style or the Gilmore Girls show or
No Lives.
No. It's
and to be fair,
I watched Gilmore Girls a couple times and I liked it growing up throughout the years, but I never paid much attention to it. But I'm like, I like the way they talk to each other. And
then that show for broads.
And then I started watching because Stephanie Meyer Sr. was like, you gotta watch your show. The show on Amazon where the lady comedian,
the marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Yeah. Mrs. Maisel. And I did not know going into the show that it was written by the same chick that wrote Gilmore Girls. And like by episode 2 or 3, I was like, this feels like Gilmore Girls, like in a different setting. And then Missy was like, yeah, it's written by the same person. I'm like, okay. Right. And then I watched like 3 more episodes and I was like, I can't anymore. Like every episode is so formulaic in the way, in the dialogue, in the way they speak to each other. It's always person A starts talking, person B interrupts, person A then purposely misinterprets what person B is saying, then they're answering each other's questions but not answering. It's like if you watch one episode,
that's a lot of banter.
But yet you love sitcoms, which is that's pretty much the same thing in every sitcom.
It's not the same pattern. It's not the same pattern of speech. If you watch Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, watch 5 episodes and you'll see what I mean by pattern of speech.
No, I get what you're saying, but like but the example
I don't care about the formula of the story. It's a sitcom. It's supposed to. You're supposed to make you feel good in 22 minutes. We get it. It's supposed to be a story arch. There's supposed to be an introduction, a problem, and a resolve in 22 minutes. That's fine. But the speech pattern is not the same in every episode and every show. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. Not the good way.
I've not really been into either of. I mean, Marvelous. I know someone who wrote on Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and that show.
Sorry, you.
No. I was just gonna say that, like, just the fact that I knew someone who was a stand-up comedian was writing this show about stand-up comedians, I was like, Oh yeah, and then also because it was like the 40s and 50 whatever, it's like 40
Instead in the 50s.
50s, where it's like where yeah, like I can get how people spoke differently back then, and also like I get like I could easily chalk that up to the one sentence that I need to explain the world that I do not give to Jean-Claude Van Damme.
The only episode I like is when Van Damme was in that episode of Marvelous and Mrs. Maisel. That's the only.
Wait, yeah, when he plays the space alien from
Uh,
sci-fi.
he plays a stand-up
with
comedian.
a French accent.
I would love for him to play a stand-up comedian.
I am a French comedian who does high kicks.
And then my punchlines, I punch.
Which, by the way,
it is a controlled kick. I control kick.
My punchlines are double impacts.
I own.
Boo!
I own my shit, so I'm fully prepared to like be completely wrong about everything I just said. So
yeah, look, here's the thing about Missy.
Like the world is in your head, and then there's actually what happens. So in my head, everything I said makes sense.
Here's the thing with Missy. What Missy means by like shove down your throat, right? There, to my knowledge, there's one person who did an awful job of trying to shove a show down everybody's throats. Realistically, just that Missy hangs around with them more, so therefore, they try to shove this a certain one show down their throat. So Missy chalks that up to anytime you give any kind of like she's gone through. Me and Missy would be having a conversation over the phone, and she'll be like, "I'm coming up with a list of shows that I need to watch. What should I add to the list?" And I'll say, example, Friday Night Lights. Right. And then she'll be like, okay, add that to the list. Right. X amount of time passes by. And she's like, hey, I want you to watch, for the sake of argument, let's say Gilmore Girls. She goes, I want you to watch Gilmore Girls, a show that I've watched that you haven't watched. She's talking to me. And I'll say, I'll watch Gilmore Girls after you watch Friday Night Lights that I brought up to you 3 months ago. And she'll be like, bet, let's do that. And then she'll never watch Friday Night Lights.
Because
and then she'll go 4 months later, she'll go, hey, you still haven't watched Gilmore Girls? And I'll go, yeah, because you haven't watched Friday Night Lights. Stop shoving it down my throat. And you're like,
right. That is correct. That's accurate. But I've also gone on and told you several times.
But that's accurate.
No, because
that's exactly what we're talking about.
But I've also told him that he can't recommend dramas to me because I'm not gonna fucking watch them.
Right. I don't like watching. This is her quote. I don't like watching dramas. I don't like watching anything that's too heavy. Oh, by the way, I started watching Handmaid's Tale. Oh, by the way, I started watching, and then she'll list off all these super heavy fucking dramas, and I'm like, what happened to not watching dramas?
Handmaid's Tale is the only heavy drama I watch, and I haven't seen the last season because of the pandemic.
I'm trying to stop. There was another show that you watched, and I forgot what's the name of the other show, but there's another show recently that you started, and I was like, but that's a heavy drama show. And you were like, yeah, but it's different. I'm like, oh, okay.
I can't think of any because I'm trying to catch up on my sitcoms that I quit 10 years ago. I have a problem with commitment.
Oh, you know what? If you have Apple TV Plus, you should watch For All Mankind.
Is it a drama?
Huh?
Is it a
Fuck
drama?
you, man.
Yeah, no, it's a drama, but it's all about.
I hate you.
You know how like Man in the High Castle?
Oh, that's the show. That was the show. I'm sorry,
Man
Mike.
in the High Castle?
No, that was the show. It was fucking morning show. She was like, I don't want to watch dramas.
Oh,
also,
yeah.
Morning show season 2 came out. I'll wait for you to catch up so we can start watching together. And I'm like, but it's a
that's true. Show. If you balance the two dramas you just mentioned against all the fucking sitcoms that I watch, I win this argument about not liking dramas.
Well, we're gonna go to the scoreboard. We're gonna who cares? We're just enjoying media.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a good show on Apple TV called Swagger. It's
Swagger.
It's Ice Cube's son, O'Shea Jackson Jr., and he plays a coach for a 14 and under basketball team. And there's like the next Michael Jordan phenom projected, whatever, blah blah. And I'm like 3 episodes in, and it's fucking fantastic. All the way through. Yeah. So
Apple TV has
Apple
some
TV's
good
legit.
shows. You got some good shows on there.
And they have that Jason Momoa show too.
I haven't seen that one.
No, you said there's some good shows. Like, yeah, and the Jason Momoa show's on there too.
Yeah, that's why I haven't seen that one. Batista's in season 2. They made a season 2. It looks like they're cranking money into it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, They're Apple. They got to spend that money somewhere. They're making trillions. So whatever. Do we want to do another Am I the Asshole? Or are we good?
No, we're good. I think we're good, right? That guy was the asshole. You should
Is
want.
she the,
I'm the
No,
asshole.
she's not the asshole. She's not the asshole. He's the asshole for giving that stipulation and then feeling bad about it. That's literally like, and then saying, "Oh, I wanted it to be I wanted to go with you my second time, your first time." What the fuck? You're an idiot. You're just an idiot. You're an idiot.
You care too much about the fucking.
That's so
Spider-Man.
stupid. You're a gatekeeper, and I fucking hate everything about you.
This guy, I imagine immediately that this guy, as soon as I heard that,
Only
I'm
likes missionary.
This is a bad nerd. Like immediately, I was like,
Only
this
likes
is
missionary.
a bad nerd.
Any gatekeeper, I hate gatekeepers,
I hate.
and I think it's I hate gatekeepers in any form of the way, and I'm just like, no, this is, and you're doing this to your girlfriend. Oh, because you're not as excited as me. Oh, now you're fucking judging the level of excitement, you fucking asshole. Like,
I also there's the element of reverse gatekeeping that I also disagree with, which is the people who say you can't dislike Star Wars Last Jedi or you can't dislike Rise of the Skywalker because it goes against some sort of narrative that they've created. And like, hey, I'm allowed to like and dislike whatever the fuck I want, like don't be a dick about it. Is the answer.
The only time that I'll
reverse
pipe
is
in,
also true. Like just enjoy the shit you enjoy, and that's it.
The only time that I'll pipe in on that kind of thing where people shit on The Last Jedi, typically the argument that I hear, the most popular one that I have heard, is that Luke would never do that. And I'm like, but they wrote it that way, so he would. And they're like, no, but he wouldn't. And I'm like, right, but he would, because you know what I mean? Like honor honor the way that he was written. You can not like it. That's a separate issue. But the argument like Luke would never do that. He fucking did. So yeah, he would. But that's the only
deal with it. To the audio listener, that was a physical joke and it was hilarious. Check out the video feed on YouTube and Facebook. I will say, I don't like gatekeepers. I think they suck. I run shit by my wife. Hey, do you mind if I watch this? Today I was trying to watch Matrix Resurrections, and I was like, I want to watch Matrix Resurrections. Are you interested? She goes, have zero interest. Go have at it. And I was like, great. Yeah. Same thing with the Marvel shows. She's like, she likes it, but she's not gonna be like
wait for me or we're gonna fight.
Wait for me or we're gonna fight type of shit. And I run it by her. I'm like, all right, and here we go. So I purposely like to watch multiple episodes at one time. So I wait till there's even numbers of episodes. So I just finished watching it.
He doesn't believe in watching week by week.
Yeah, that's stupid. So that's it. That's stupid, and anybody who doesn't think that is stupid. So I'm gatekeeping.
Stupid.
I mean, whatever, bro. All right.
Binge watch it for life, son.
Hey, you live with your magical thinking, okay?
Yeah.
So go ahead.
My unicorn is real. All right. So thank you guys for checking us out. Check out the other podcasts on the Geekbro Network, including but not limited to Better Let Me Tell You, the Mt.Geekmore podcast, Cramocopia, Shiver, the horror movie podcast, Kickflix, the martial arts movie podcast, and Chow Like a Best with Mike Valdez. So make sure you guys check that out. Go to geekbro.net.
What if we started doing that for Chow Like a Best?
I can't hear you.
Cramocopia.
So go to geekbro.net, check those out. Go to geekbro.net. Check out Missy's website is coming along. It should be up soon. We're hoping by early 2022. She's working she's doing a really good job of work. She's working really hard on that. I've seen what your website. I've seen what she has planning, and it's pretty cool.
And hopefully in a couple of weeks, I'll be able to start rolling out my new podcast idea. And I am very excited.
Yeah. So make sure you check that out. Check out Mike at Mike Mercadal, and I am at Nary Signs. If you can't spell that, go to whatwashisname.com. All the links are in the bios. Thank you guys for checking us out. And that's how winning is done.